Good morning, family B1. Welcome to Black Logic. So today we're going to do a quick video here and break down some of the comments and things that Michelle Obama has stated in a speech she gave yesterday in Michigan to what I would like to believe mostly black people, but I'm pretty sure there was all sorts of Democrats and liberals of that nature. But this is something we really need to talk about, family, because Obama started first in the bashing of men, especially black men. And Michelle Obama has now backed her husband in the same rhetoric, okay? Because Michelle Obama is using the same condescending tone we heard from her husband just a couple of weeks ago. And this time, again, it seems as though that it's aimed at black men and black people indirectly, and of course, but with the same underlying theme: vote for Kamala Harris or you'll be hurting the women in your lives. This is the rhetoric of the Democratic Party. This is the rhetoric of liberals, okay? And I'm not a Republican. I'm not a MAGA-loving person. I always have to put those disclaimers out for those of you who are new to Black Logic so you understand my position on this. I'm just getting tired of one particular party, and that's the Democratic Party, always demonizing black people, but now they're targeting black men as they're seeing black men, not stating myself, are turning to the Republican Party. Now, historically, we understand that the Republican Party, the party of Lincoln, are the ones who were credited with freeing the slaves, where the Democratic Party, also known as the Dixiecrat Party, is credited with creating the KKK. That is for some historical information, family. Also with that, if we understand anything about how the Democratic Party has moved throughout history, as well as the Republican Party, because somehow the coin has flipped and turned to the point where Lyndon B. Johnson, who was a Democrat, by signing the Civil Rights Bill, stated that I'll basically have those N-words voting for a Democrat for the next 100 to 200 years. That is what Lyndon B. Johnson actually got recorded stating just by signing the civil rights. And that was all to keep the Democratic Party in power. So this speech that Kamala Harris gave in Michigan to what I would like to believe a majority black crowd, but of course there was all sorts of people there. And again, the rhetoric that she was stating is basically vote for Kamala Harris or you'll be hurting the women in your lives. And we understand how this sounds. Let's call it what it is. This is emotional manipulation that's wrapped in fear tactics, trying to guilt us into voting for candidates who've shown nothing but apathy towards our community, especially our community needs. Because Michelle's speech in Michigan, what some folks are calling Kamala Mizzou, was full of coded language. She hinted how men needed to stand up for women and act responsibly in the election. I wish I queued up that interview between her and Oprah Winfrey. And Oprah Winfrey asked Michelle Obama, do you have any comments? Do you have anything you want to say? She said men need to do better. And then they laughed. Oprah Winfrey and Michelle Obama laughed. And she said they need to do better in all things. And don't forget, family, this was during the first term, going back to the Obama days when they were running for the second term. So the disrespect has always been there. When I look at the Obamas and when I look how Michelle moves and the way she speaks in conjunction with Obama, with Barack Obama, I wonder who wears the pants. Not stating that she's masculine, not stating that she's authoritative. I'll let you decide with that. But that is kind of my recollection of the accounts and how she presents herself. But look, we're tired of these passive-aggressive jabs aimed at shaming black men and black women into compliance. Because what they do here is they use gender as a divide to either pressure women into pressuring their men to vote for Kamala Harris. And if that doesn't work, to separate the women from the men in order to garnish their vote, while I guess black men or men in general stay home or vote for the Republican Party. But again, there was a commercial of Pop the Balloon. I think I'm a pop that up for you guys even before we start this. So bear with me, because I really want to show you this video clip of how the Democratic Party is once again in the bedrooms of black Americans. Why do they continue to bring relationship and sex inside of voting? No one is talking about the policies. No one's talking about what are you going to do with criminal justice reform. No one's talking about a police brutality bill. No one's talking about the economy or immigration. These are just kind of ad hominems that they use to further push their rhetoric, but no one's talking about the real issues that will affect you and your lives. They keep using gender at each and every turn. So bear with me here, family, because I really, really want to pop up. I want to pop up this, I guess, commercial or advertising that the Democratic Party came out with to, again, shame black men, okay, to shame black men into voting for the Democratic Party. So please bear with me as I'm looking for this. It should be very, very quick here. I did have it up previously. I'm trying to look for this very quickly. Give me 1 second, family. I'm sorry I didn't have this. I'm sorry I didn't have this popped up for you guys, but it's very important that you guys see this so you know exactly what I'm referring to, because they use a Nigerian lady, very popular show, Pop the Balloon or Find Love, and they had a black man to come out and, you know, beautiful black women on the stage, and it was something about voting or Kamala Harris, and then he was like, no, I'm not voting, I'm staying at home, and all the women popped their balloons, which is voting is your choice, is your right, and is your choice. You do not have to vote if you don't want to, and no one should be shaming you. No one should be shaming you into voting or doing something you don't want, especially when there's nothing there for you to have. Okay, I think I found it here. I think I found it. And shout out goes to the Sambo Journeys. This is on his channel. Okay. And he's the one who has a clip. It seems as though this is the shortest one. I was really trying to get to it. Here we go. Here we go, family. Bear with me. Here we go.
Hello, ladies. I'm Trey. It's good to be here.
What do you do and how much do you make?
I work in finance, making six figures.
How tall are you?
6'5".
Do you have a plan to vote in November?
Nah, not my thing. Hello, ladies. I'm Trey.
Okay, right then and there. So basically what they did here was push these stereotypes of what women want. That's the first thing that we need to look at. Push the stereotypes that women want, majority of women want, someone who is highly educated, six plus feet, making six figures, someone who's in shape. And then right after that, what are your plans of voting in November? Oh, it's kind of not my thing. I'm not, political like that. I'm just going to watch the game. And all the women pop their balloon. I'm going to show it one more time.
It's good to be here.
What do you do and how much do you make?
I work in finance, making six figures.
How tall are you?
6'5".
Do you have a plan to vote in November?
Nah, not my thing.
And then they got all dramatic with it, with the one lady at the end stumping on her balloon simply because he wasn't vote. Again, do you guys remember the other commercial that they did to put Joe Biden, Kamala Harris into office with the no voting, no vucking? Do you guys remember that disrespectful? They do this to no other group, family. Again, I am not trying to persuade you to vote Republican. I am not trying to persuade you to go to the GOP. I am not. I'm trying to have you to free your mind and do what's best for you and your family. If that's staying at home, then do it. If you believe one party is better than the other, then vote for that party. But the disrespect, the manipulation, and the tricking and the fearmonger of black people has to stop. And they're using us to do it. The best way to trick a group of people is to use their own people. When I went to Ghana a couple of years ago, and on the tour guide stated that when the European colonizers came in before they took Ghana by force, that they came in with religion by the way of missionaries and the way of partnership and trade. As they were trying to teach their religion, none of the Ghanaian people were essentially listening to them. They wasn't following their religion because they had their own religion. So what they did, they recruited 2 Ghanaians to send to Europe to train and teach them on how to preach and teach the gospels, and brought them back to Ghana and converted damn near the entire country of Ghana. And those who didn't convert, they forced them or they killed them. So I want you guys to understand the power of manipulation and how it first starts. I'm not stating that the Democratic Party will go to those extreme measures, but look at what they're doing. They're using everything that black people love. They're using food, they're using music, they're using love, they're using relationship, they're using entertainers to persuade, trick, and manipulate black folk into voting for the Democratic Party. See, they're not just using these tactics for you to vote. Oh, we don't care if you vote. Like, there's no independent party that's stating that, oh, we don't care who you vote for, just vote. We just want to have free and fair in an election where everybody is participating. No one's saying that. No one's doing that. This is what they're doing, family. Let me show you the other one here. Let me show you the other one very, very quickly. I think I hit the wrong button. Give me a second. I want to show you the old one.
Hello, ladies. I'm sorry. It's good to be here.
I'm going to show you the other one that they did as well. Let me just, that was one I'm queuing up. Give me 1 second, family. I'm just trying to duplicate this tab. That's all I'm trying to do. All right. And I don't know if you guys remember
Hello,
this.
ladies. I'm sorry. It's good to be here.
Okay. I don't know if you guys remember this. No voting, no vucking. And this was done by Trina. And this was done by a black man who's part of the LGBT community by the name of Saucy Santana. Doing this video once again, I have to show you these things, family. Fair use. All video clips are in accordance with the fair use laws for commentary and educational and informational purposes, okay? So here's this video, and I'm only gonna show a little bit of it, okay? I'm not gonna show the full 2 minutes, maybe 30 or 40 seconds. And they posted this on the Black dating app, okay? On the Black dating app. And as you can see here, the video right under on Megyn Kelly, and I'm no fan of Megyn Kelly's at all. I think she's very racist. That's my personal opinion. But they had some people on there laughing at the video, how they're disrespecting, you know, black people, essentially black men. So you got Saucy Santana and Trina. I don't know, Trina, sister, listen. Anyway, this was 2 years ago. Listen in.
Trey Tracks, I think we got one.
It's voting season, bruh.
No voting, no loving. No voting, no touching. No voting, no nothing. No voting, no fucking. No voting, no fucking. No voting, no loving. No voting, no touching. No voting, no nothing. No voting, no fucking. No voting, no fucking. BLK app looking for some action. Swear the homie Scott was heading. Face is a 9, abs a 10, D is a to be determined. He got mad jokes, he don't seem broke. The only red flag, he said he don't vote. This midterms for all the single kids.
Okay, family. Now, I take so much from this video, and I have nothing against our brothers in the LGBT community, but we have a black man part of the LGBT community, and Trina, who I presume to be heterosexual, speaking to and speaking about what seems to be heterosexual black men in order to persuade them and fearmonger them into voting for, once again, the Democratic Party. Is this not disrespect? If it's not, please put it in the chat, and we may have a discussion later on how you guys may not find this video or the last video disrespectful.
Wanna hit this booty, gotta do your civic duty. Now voting, now loving. Now voting, now touching. Now voting, now nothing. Now voting, now fucking. Now voting, now fucking. Now voting, now loving. Now voting, now touching. Now voting, now nothing. Now voting, now fucking. Now voting, now fucking.
Yeah, don't stop now. Stop my ballot box again, but my homegirl through. Put the buy in partisan. Politics be so nasty. Make me wanna flirt ya. Show you how to be a poll worker. Legs in the air, I don't care. Anyone could get it. Universal health care. If you wanna come before the dead.
All right, family. I'm sorry. I can't listen to more of this trash because we still don't have universal health care. Again, these are just zingers and buzzwords for people to get out and vote, because essentially Congress and other groups of people won't allow universal health care because all the millions and trillionaires that we have will go broke. But nonetheless, other than that, look at what the Democratic Party has done. And I have no love for the Republican Party as well, okay? They hasn't done any better, but the disrespect with the Democratic Party is outstanding. Now, I wasn't trying to make this a very long video, but it made me think of another video that the Democratic Party created to get black men to vote as well. This has been, they understand that it's been a sharp decline listening to this disrespect as well.
Get your booty to the pole, 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 yeah.
So it seems to be they got a lot of retired strippers. It seems to me they got a lot of stay-at-home moms to come out and put on bikinis in order to entice and attract black men to vote. They've been doing this for a very long time. And I don't know if you guys have seen none of these videos. Get your booty to the poll and POLL, but then you have booties at the POLE. Then right after that, you have no voting, no vucking. And then you have Pop the Balloon Vote Edition.
Did we get your attention? Good.
So, you really not gonna vote? You know it's more than just the president on the ballot, right? Check it.
A district attorney decides who to prosecute,
Including whether or not to go after dirty cop.
This is so disrespectful. Let me tell you, men, black men in general, we can do so much, but we have to stay focused. They're trying to give subliminal messaging to keep your eyes on the prize, on the two cheeks you trying to get inside, and have you to go vote for Kamala Harris. They're using every trick. And this is the same old tie playbook, family. This is nothing new. So you have get your booties to the poll, no voting, no vucking, and then Pop the Balloon Voting Edition. And if you notice, every single person is black. We're the Asians, we're the Hispanics, we're the Native Americans, we're the white people in these videos. Where are they? P-Valley Politics, Volvo says. So I know I've said a lot here and I didn't want to start off like this, but the disrespect has really gone too far, family. It's really gone too far because they continue to use these passive-aggressive jabs aimed at shaming black men into compliance. This is what they have done. They just think that we, these over-sexualized beings that have the ability to vote, and so they're going to appease to our sex. They're going to appease to our love. They're going to appease to everything degenerate that we're trying to eradicate from our culture. But here's the thing. This is how you incentivize this sort of behavior, and you're putting this out for the world to see that black women are only good if they're shaking their ass. Black women only have value unless they're looking for a black man who makes six figures, who is highly educated. No, our black women has more worth than that. They're trying to do this gender divide, and it's time out for the BS. Because just like Barack's speech back in the day, it carries an undercurrent that we're not doing enough if we don't vote their way. You're not doing enough if you don't vote their way. That's fear-mongering, plain and simple. She played on traditional family dynamics, suggesting that our votes have to align with the desires of our wives, mothers, and daughters. No, it doesn't. We have a sound mind and sound body, and we can make individual choices in a holistic family. Mother, father, and children. I could be a Democrat and she can be a Republican, or we can vote vice versa, or we can vote straight down the middle, independent, or we can stay our black ass at home. It don't matter. But this is what they're doing. They get inside of the bedroom of black folk. They're trying to get into the minds of black folk. You know what they're not trying to do? Fill your pockets with money. You know what they're not trying to do? Have greater tax deductions so you can do more with the measly dollars that we make anyway. That is what they're not trying to do. She isn't encouraging critical thinking or informed voting. Have you noticed that? Look at these videos, family. Look at these videos. This is dating. This is about access to relationship that they're portraying. Oh, how tall are you? How much do you make?
6'5"?
Do you have a plan to vote in November?
Nah, not my thing.
That is what we're dealing with here. So they're in your bedroom, they're in your relationship, they're at the strip club, they're doing all these things for you not to vote. No voting, no vucking. They just can say the F word, but we all know what they're talking about. We all know what they're talking about. Again, she isn't encouraging critical thinking or informed voting. Instead, she's using emotional blackmail to align us with candidates who continue to ignore our community's demands. There was no mention of reparations. There was no mention of an anti-hate crime legislation or plans to tackle mass incarceration or wealth disparities or decreasing the wealth gap or affordable housing. Nothing tangible. Nothing tangible to the black family. This a bunch of fear mongering. And with that said, let's get into the video clip.
To know what we need. So please do not hand our fates over to the likes of Trump, who knows nothing about us, who has shown deep contempt for us. Because a vote for him is a vote against us, against our health.
That is where the form of manipulation and these talking words and buzzwords are going to get into the ears and minds and hearts of our beautiful black women. She just stated that a vote for Trump, okay, again, family, you know where I'm going to be at this election. It's called the couch. That's my right. That's my choice. That's my opinion. It's amazing how, and this is not to further the gender divide, but when we're talking about pro-life, pro-choice, how women are advocating for autonomy of their bodies as they should have. As they should have. But, and it is not to negate what I just stated, but they should also know the history behind Planned Parenthood and how Margaret Sanger created an organization to eradicate black people from the face of the earth, especially the United States of America. I digress. That's time for another video. But with that being said, women should have full autonomy of their bodies. Why can't we have full autonomy of our vote? and not be fearmonger and divide our women against the black male to pressure people into voting for Kamala Harris. Because she just stated that a vote for Donald Trump is a vote against them. Let's back that up. Lord have mercy.
Do not hand our fates over to the likes of Trump, who knows nothing about us, who has shown deep contempt for us. Because a vote for him is a vote against us. Against.
How? Barack Obama did 8 years in office. Donald Trump came in. Black women are still here. Black men are still here. What are you talking about, Michelle? Stop trying to scare black folk. Stop trying to scare low informational voters. Stop trying to scare people who are easily persuaded by your words. Stop trying to persuade people who look to the Obama family as gods to persuade them for voting for Kamala Harris. You know, I just wish things were so damn neutral and free thinking, critical thinking, independent thought. But no, we constantly have images and depictions and all these hidden messaging and advertising, marketing to change and switch and to persuade you guys into doing something you probably wouldn't do unless you just had unadulterated, unfiltered, untampered information in order for you to go out and vote. They do this. Both Republicans and Democrats do this. But let me tell you, and this is just my opinion and not to persuade you guys, the Democrats do the most.
Our health, against our worth. And let me tell you all, to think that the men that we love could be either unaware or indifferent to our plight is simply heartbreaking. It is a sad statement about our value as women in this world. It is both a setback in our quest for equity and a huge blow to our country's standing as a world leader on issues of women's health and gender equality. So fellas, before you cast your votes, ask yourselves, what side of history do you want to be on?
Well, let me respond to her before she finished. I want to be on the side of history where I wasn't feared, I wasn't manipulated, I wasn't tricked, I wasn't coerced, I wasn't changed thought, I wasn't pandered into voting for a particular person and or party if I were to get clear, unadulterated, untampered with information. That's what I would want. I would want a free America where we don't use subliminal messaging and popular and famous people to persuade people who are easily persuaded, which the Democratic Party knows. You don't see other parties, the Independent Party, you don't see the Republican Party, sometimes, use entertainers, actors, comedians, strippers, retired strippers, and all these other means to get people to vote for them. They just kind of come out and say, you know, and there's some rhetoric on both sides, but I feel as though, and this is my opinion again, the Democrats do the most. The Republicans come out, you know, family first, country first, God, religion, lower taxes, increase, you know, business tax, whatever. They say some very basic things each and every time. But they don't go to the extent of this. Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, you guys had 8 years in office. And I know that you guys are campaigning for your sister girl, quote unquote, and I don't mean black sister. Again, I'm not dealing with identity politics, but that's just my take on it. But your Democratic sister girl, and I get it. You guys are probably getting the bag because Kamala Harris raised over $150 million. So you're probably getting like $200,000, come out and do a quick speech. You guys are good at it. You guys are great. Michelle and Barack Obama, I'm going to take nothing away from their intellectual prowess. They're very intelligent people, and they're great orators, right? They really know how to gyrate a crowd. And you have people hanging on every single word of their breath, like literally. It's almost like the reincarnation of Michael Jackson if you put both of them together. Hee hee, if you get what I'm saying.
I recognize that there are a lot of angry, disillusioned people out there, upset with the slow pace of change. And I get it. It is reasonable to be frustrated. We all know we have a lot more work to do in this country. But to anyone out there thinking about sitting out this election or voting for Donald Trump or a third-party candidate in protest because you're fed up, let me warn you, your rage does not exist in a vacuum. If we don't get this election right, your wife, your daughter, your mother, we as women will become collateral damage to your rage.
So we don't vote for Kamala Harris. Men are going to become violent, intolerable, insane, and that our women will be the victims of our rage. What in the tarnation is she talking about? I really want you guys to listen to this one more time. Michelle, really?
Rage does not exist in a vacuum. If we don't get this election right, your wife, your daughter, your mother, we as women will become collateral damage to your rage.
If we don't get this election right.
So are you as men prepared to look into the eyes of the women and children you love and tell them that you supported this assault on our safety? And to the women listening, we have every right to demand that the men in our lives do better by us.
Now, what does that have to do with voting, family? She made a lot of comments here. She said, and to the women, we have every right for the men in our lives to do right by us. What is she talking about? Is she trying to take a dig at Obama? Because she's sure not talking about me and my wife. Is she talking about you and your wife, you and your fiance, you and your girlfriend? I'm just asking for a friend. I really am.
And to the women listening, we have every right to demand that the men in our lives do better by us. We have to use our voices to make these choices clear to the men that we love. Our lives are worth more than their anger and disappointment. And we are more than just baby-making vessels. And if you are a woman who lives in a household of men that don't listen to you or value your opinion, just remember that your vote is a private matter.
It's so much to unpack, and I'm really not trying to comb through all the rhetoric that she's stating again, but you clearly see that there is a gender divide that she's trying to make if the women can't persuade the men into voting for Kamala Harris. She was stating that how women don't have a voice inside the household, which kind of goes against the traditional family values that men are head of the household, which some people live their lives, by the Holy Bible, that men are head of the household. And basically, because the man is going out, probably making majority of the money. But now we know things are quite differently. My wife and I work. So we make decisions together. And we're husband and wife, but we do have a partnership. And we give reason and we dive into why one decision is better than the other. So the household she's referring to, I don't know. In this current day and time, there are very, very few people who are doing financially well where both people one of the people don't work. Most people are working. Maybe the woman works at home and take care of the kids. Maybe she has paternity leave and she's out taking care of the newborn. But majority of parents work now. So the whole traditional family where the man goes out and work and the women take care of the kid in the household, does that still exist? To a certain degree, but we understand in the economy that we live in, both people have to work to live a really decent life. So what she's kind of hinting at really doesn't exist. Now, even she worked at a point in time. So when we look at these things, family, we have to dive into the evidence. We have to dive into the information and not sway one way or another because of someone fancy parlor tricks or what they're trying to get at. But this is totally a gender divide tactic that Michelle Obama is trying to use. And the only thing I'm saying is don't fall for it and see through the BS. Because here's where it gets real frustrating. This is the same tire trick with a new label, because back in 2016, they showed up at Black church with a bottle of hot sauce in their bags, using identity politics to pander without offering what I've been saying this entire time, policies, tangible policies. Now it's happening all over again. But the sauce is even spicier because this time is meant to make black men feel ashamed for wanting to make their own political choice. You should be ashamed. You're breaking up the black family, black men. You're going to come home disillusioned and angry about your choice of voting for Donald Trump. And you're going to take that anger out on the black woman, and you're going to do this and you're going to do that. We should feel ashamed for making our own political choices. Because if Kamala Harris wants our vote, again, where are the tangible policies? We don't need any performative speeches. We need legislation that delivers. And if you think about Kamala's record, it has not been friendly towards black people. Let's look at that. From her history as a prosecutor in California to her flip-flopping on issues like reparations, what she offers is smoke and mirrors, same as the Obamas. Meanwhile, illegal immigration is prioritized, housing costs are sky high, and healthcare remains unaffordable. As a matter of fact, the only people who can really afford to buy a house are the illegal immigrants. That's ironic. The only people who can afford housing, and I'm not talking about renting, I'm talking about actually going out and buy a home, are illegal immigrants. They get $10,000 in EBT and then $5,000 in cash. They don't even have to work if they don't want to. So why should black men or any black people or any of us feel obligated to vote for her when nothing concrete has been put on the table? What else you got to say, Michelle?
Regardless of the political views of your partner, you get to choose. You get to use your judgment and cast your vote for yourself and the women in your life. Remember, women, standing up for what is best for us can make the difference in this election.
Lord, 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 Lord. You would think if you didn't know Michelle Obama, you would think that she was single. Does she sound like she has a man at home? And this is just my opinion, okay? I want to make sure that I divide my opinion from what she's saying. This is my opinion. Because if I was Michelle Obama giving a speech to a point where I'm being neutral, I would say you as a family over the age of 18, each person in that family have their own individual right on who they're voting for and the reasons why they're voting. So all of you guys within a family over the age of 18 has the right to vote, and for the reasons you want to vote is your own choice. But as you see, she's using gender, she's using identity politics to separate men and women in order to put Kamala Harris into office. This is, in my opinion, very demonic.
So let us use our voices in these final days to make it plain to the men in our lives that we need to stand not with Trump, but with us. We need them to vote for the only candidate in this race who will protect our lives. We need them to vote for Kamala Harris.
And there you have it. That's what she's talking about. And we've seen this script before. Politicians like Harris, backed by familiar faces like Michelle Obama, they swoop right in before the elections, offering hope and change and joy and dreams, but leave us empty-handed after the ballots are cast. What we need are real politics that addresses certain things. And I want you to think about the Obama years, the 8 years of Obama. What did you guys receive? What did you guys get? Because I can name a plethora of different groups that receive tangibles. They receive money, they receive grants, they receive land, they receive protections. And I've said this many times on my channel. But where are the policies that address reparations, that address an anti-black hate crime bill the same way you gave to Asians, that addresses the affordable housing and jobs program, that address inflation, that address educational funding? Ask yourself, what has been done for us? And if the answer is nothing, it's time we stop letting fear and guilt dictate our vote. We got to vote in our own best interest, do we not? Not for sentimental reasons, not for someone else's agenda. This isn't about hating Michelle or Barack Obama or even Kamala Harris for that point. This is about standing firm and demanding what's owed. They're liaticians, AKA politicians, but they lie a lot. So this ain't about hating them. They just doing what politicians have always done. Democrats, Republicans, and independents alike, they lie a lot to get the positions of power. No more emotional tricks, no more pandering, and no more goddamn voting against our self-interest. If they want our votes, bring the policies. Until then, we'll stay focused to demand accountability. That's what we'll do. That's what we'll do. Because Michelle, she leans into familiar themes of responsibility and protecting the women you love, implying that not voting for Harris is equivalent to abandoning black women. How? You're abandoning black women if you don't vote for Kamala Harris. Don't come home angry and frustrated and built hell on earth to hurt us. What? And family, we have to recognize that this rhetoric closely mirrors Barack Obama's old speeches where black men were urged to step up. And he was using language that sounded more like blame than inspiration. Well, whatever happened to the old Obama? Hope and change. What happened to that? I think it died with Dick Gregory, because Dick Gregory had a piece about hope and change and that it was a bunch of BS. And I agree. Because I wanted to know, whether it be Michelle or Barack Obama, the underlying insinuation of it all. Because you as a black person, you as a man, you as a black man, don't vote for Kamala, you're not just failing yourself, you're failing people in general. But this is the rhetoric. You as a black man, you as a man, if you don't vote for Kamala, you're just failing yourself. You're failing your women in your lives. This is a guilt-based tactic, family, weaponizing gender dynamics to make men feel as though we are independent and political preference as harmful. It's manipulative because it pressures them. It pressures us. It pressures us all into compliance without offering anything in return. Think about it. They aren't asking, what does Kamala Harris' platform offer you? They're telling you, you have to vote for her or else. You're going to vote in a convicted felon. You're going to vote in a sexual assaulter. You have to vote for Kamala Harris or else. That's not democracy. That's coercion. This approach isn't new because Hillary Clinton played a similar game back in 2016, pulling out her hot sauce from her bag during a radio interview, attempting to connect with black voters superficially. Oh, I carry hot sauce in my bag. And family, she might carry hot sauce in her bag, But why pull it out? Why tell us? Why show that? Now Michelle's doing the same thing, except this time the stakes are higher and the playbook has a twist. It's just not about pretending to care. It's about using fear to control. Now, here's a harsh truth. Kamala has a long record of anti-black policies. And I stated this before because when she was the AG, aka Attorney General, she enforced harsh truancy laws that disproportionately impacted black parents. And Kamala dodged reparations conversations during the 2020 campaign and has yet to propose any meaningful legislation that really targets foundational black Americans since becoming VP. Meanwhile, she vocally supported policies favoring immigration reform and LGBTQ issues, okay? But hardly the urgent solutions that black Americans have demanded. So if Kamala Harris wants our votes, it's very simple. Show us the policies. Housing reform, anti-hate legislation, economic empowerment, something. Instead of hearing all these issues addressed, Michelle Obama's focused on emotional manipulation. She was getting into the hearts, minds, and souls of all the women there. This speech was about control, not solutions. Let me say it again. This speech was about control, not solutions. Because if they were real policies, they would have led with that instead of talking about family dynamics and gender expectations. They didn't lead with the policies. They led with gender expectations and family dynamics. Very emotional. And Michelle's speech really encapsulated the Democratic Party's persistent problem with black voters. Instead of earning our votes through concrete policies, they rely on familiar faces like the Obamas to tell us what to do because they're black and no one knows this Kamala's black. But the truth is we're tired. We're simply tired. I know you guys are tired. I'm tired. You're tired. And I'll be just fine and dandy when the whole election is over because we're tired. We're tired of the BS. It's on every damn channel, every damn commercial. We're tired. We're tired of being used as political chess pieces. Black men, especially, have been blamed for election outcomes repeatedly, where it was the supposed failure to support Hillary Clinton, where we know that over 87% of black men voted for Hillary. And now the potential threat is to Kamala Harris. But let's talk about the real reality. The black vote, particularly the black vote of black men, should not be taken for granted. We need policies, not politics, Michelle. We need to hear clear answers to how Kamala Harris plans to address our needs, especially the black family needs, especially black men and black women needs, not just abortion rights. Because so far, the only thing we receive is more pressure to vote without reasons. And why? And to be clear, voting against someone isn't good enough. What are we voting for? And at the end of the day, family, Michelle's speech is just another reminder that we need to stay focused and refuse to be manipulated. Let's not be guilted or coerced into voting for someone who doesn't prioritize us. If they want our votes, they need to earn them with real policies that truly uplift the support of the foundational black American family. Anything less is unacceptable, is it not? And if we talked about abortion, if we really talked about abortion and the autonomy of women have control over their bodies, and this goes for men and women. I repeat, this goes for men and women. Men, if you don't want to pay child support, use protection. Women, if you don't want to have children by men you're just simply sleeping with, then don't sleep with them. Use contraceptives. Use abstinence. How about we come up with a third term? Instead of pro-life, instead of pro-choice, can anyone agree with me to be pro-responsibility? Can anyone agree with me to be pro-responsibility? The same way a man doesn't have the right, once a woman gets pregnant, he doesn't have the right to force or tell that woman to abort that baby or not. It's solely up to that woman, even though both of them decided to lay down together. And some people like to make arguments of this. Again, if you notice, I'm very neutral on these things because it takes two to tango. And I know this is very unpopular. And this is not a right wing or a left wing. This is Black Logic's wing, where you guys both need to be responsible when you lay down, either be to procreate or for fun. Women understand that man may not be around. That man may quit his job so he doesn't have to pay child support. And men, you guys may have agreements that if she gets pregnant, she's going to abort or she's going to do something to get rid of the baby, or she doesn't want to be pregnant. She may change her mind. She may change her mind. She may, you know what? I'm still young. I'm 27 and I'm going to keep it. Wait, whoa. We had an agreement that, we're going to have some fun and we're in a relationship. We don't know how things may go. We may or may not get married. But the one thing that we stated was, if you were to get pregnant, that we were going to handle this so we can continue to live our lives and make that decision down the line. Well, I think differently about it now. There's something growing inside of me. And I get it. I totally understand that. She has a right to change her mind. But we understand, men, that the laws are not in your favor. So be responsible. Let me read some of your comments. Let's see who we have in the room today. We have our good moderator, Jermaine Anderson. Thank you for joining me here this morning. We have Chukwu, salute to you too, brother. I always butcher your name, so please forgive me on that. Volvo is up in the room. DSB, my warrior brother. Thank you all for joining me here this morning. We got Janice. You black folks have lost your negative misinformed. You're lost, disrespectful, and blind to the fact they don't need you. They are trying to help you. Warn you, black men of Trump Project 2025. Lord have mercy. These Democratic shills are still talking about Project 2025. Okay, I wasn't going to do this. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, family. I'm going to show you guys. This is what Donald Trump, and again, I'm no Trumper, okay? But this is on Donald Trump's website, okay? And this is about Agenda 47. Again, Donald Trump has not associated himself with Project 25. Project 2025, he has not. He has Agenda 47. And I even stated this in a broadcast that I broke down his Agenda 47 in comparison to Project 2025. If you see right here in the middle, it says Agenda 47. And you guys can read about seal the border and stop the migrant invasion and inflation and make America affordable again. Make America the dominant energy producer in the world. And you can go all down here and you guys can look at all the videos and read about all the things that are in what? Trump's Agenda 47. And I did state this. There are some elements, some residue of Project 2025 in Agenda 47, but not to the T and not to the I. So I digress. Lord. See, these are the lies of people who are, again, trying to fearmonger people, right? And guess what? A lot of people, they keep saying Project 2025. I've read it. A lot of people even haven't read Project 2025. They just know that it's from Trump and it's bad, right? They just keep thinking that it's from Trump, which is not. It's from the Heritage Foundation. And they think it's bad because the Democrats said, it's Project 2025. It's going to kill us all. It's going to kill the democracy. It's going to make him a dictator. He'll never... Have a good day, Janice. Anyway, who else we have in the room? We have Sassy Lady Forever. She stated, actually, the Dems are giving SSI and Medicare to illegals. You are right, Sassy Lady. Thank you, sister. Okay. What else do we have here? We have our brother MD Williams. Did she say in these last days? Yep, she said that. Again, all of these words, whether she wrote this speech or not, were curated in a way that subliminally changes the chemical infrastructure of your thinking process in your subconscious mind in order for you to do something you normally wouldn't do. How do I know this? How do I know what I'm saying is true? Because I like to read. I like to read. And this is a good book I believe all you guys should read so you understand where I'm coming from. The Power of the Subconscious Mind by J.D. Did I get that right? Here we go. There we go. By Joseph Murphy. The Power of the Subconscious Mind. You guys, it's a short read, family. It's a short read. You guys should really read this because a lot of the tactics that politicians use in general, they use it to appease your subconscious mind so you can then act out things into fruition, into your reality. Okay? That's what this has occurred. It's only 138 pages. You can read this in 3 days if you wanted to. Okay? Who else we have in the room? Robert T. Project 25 has taken ideas from Trump, but he has not endorsed it. Okay? And you know what? I don't have enough information, Robert T., to debunk what you're stating. That's another thing I would like you guys to understand about Black Logic. If I don't have evidence or enough information, I'm just not going to refute it. I'm just going to say I don't know enough information. I'm not just going to go hard stance on one way or another. You come to Black Logic for the truth. You come to Black Logic for a good rant every now and again. You come to Black Logic for a little bit of rhetoric here and there. But my opinions are my opinions, but I'm going to give you the information straight, no chaser. MD Williams said that's a must read right there. Indeed it is. Indeed it is a very good book. If you guys, I used to do, when I had my financial channel family, I used to have a whole list of books that I used to that I used to put out. And let me, and this for fun. I'm almost done here, but if you guys, I'm gonna put in my name here and I'm gonna put in books. I used to put out these videos about what books you should read. They probably took them down. I don't know if they was erased. Let's see here. See, read these books. You see them here. Let's see. La 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 la. Look, 1 minute. Can we look this for a moment? This is the young me. This is the young me, family. This is the young me. Hey, Ross World, my money makes money. I did a previous video titled You Should Read Books, and you can reference that video right here. Here are some of the books that I've either skimmed through or read through. I have a quick list. It's not that many. Excuse me as I look down. Guide to Tax-Free Wealth, Rich Dad's Guide to Investing, and basically all the Rich Dad's book. And last but not least, Automatic Millionaire. Those are phenomenal books. I also know somebody else who put that on their channel was Erica Williams. So shout out goes to Erica Williams. How you doing? But nonetheless, that's the young me, family. I just wanted to show you that very quickly. I always gave advice about what books to read, where got me where I am today. So yeah, guys, no voting, no vucking, and get your booties to the polls and pop the balloon if you don't vote. So that's what we're dealing with. So I will not be broadcasting this evening. That is why I'm here this morning. Thank you guys for joining me as early as you have. Lord have mercy. The Democratic Party. You will continue to lose black people with a conscience. Be one.